All right, so let's imagine the scenario, right? You're trying to go through Steam, look for a game to play. You just got home from work, 30 minutes go by, you don't find any game to play, and you just end up giving up and going to bed, feeling kind of disappointed, right? Maybe sometimes you think about your childhood when games were actually fun to play and kind of think, what happened? Am I getting burned out or is it something else? That got me thinking. What I decided to do was to play my favorite childhood game on Twitch. For the game that I decided to play, it is called Beyond Good and Evil. Now, this game was developed in 2003 by Ubisoft, probably one of the most controversial companies nowadays. Now, at the time, this game was super well reviewed and it got a lot of positive feedback, which is kind of the opposite that Ubisoft receives now. I found that 3 things make a game memorable. Now, the first thing is character design. What makes a character unique and stand out? Every little detail. Now, I wanted to highlight the most memorable moment for me in the game where Paige shows Jade his latest invention.
Here, will you? I gotta tell you something important.
Here we
Now
go.
may be a good time to show you my latest invention.
His latest
2
invention.
years of work under the utmost secrecy. The outcome of a life's work. My little marvels, the jet boots.
The jet boots.
They run on homemade biocarburate, the pocket of pressurized methane. And here, in the soles, are the 2 turbo reactors. All you have to do to fire them up is contract your abdominal muscles. It's the transportation of the future.
Here he goes. Chili con carne. So from this 1-minute clip, we've already learned so many small little things that Paige likes to do, such as kind of tinkering and inventing, and he has this kind of exuberant personality that he gives off. Also, his accent and appearance help him really stand out, as you don't really see southern accented pigs all too often in video games.
As for me, I'll try to get that stupid hovercraft up and running.
That stupid hovercraft.
Here, otherwise this whole place will fall apart.
Now, the second thing is the difficulty of the game. How hard is the game itself, and how long does it take to understand the mechanics of the game? And at times, I've found myself genuinely struggling to actually get past a certain level and advance on. Okay. No.
No! Missed by a hair!
In terms of game mechanics, the game doesn't really have too many mechanics. There's kind of a photography mechanic where you get extra points for taking photos of animals, but in terms of combat, you kind of just press X to deal damage, and that's about it. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, just something to point out. And then lastly, the level of immersion. What are the small details that kind of bring the game together and make it into one whole thing? Examples of some good immersion is the keyboard. I really loved the keyboard during this game. It was really cool and super unique. It made it feel like a completely different thing. Even small things like the UI elements gave the game so much personality, and it really kind of sucked you into the game. Last but not least, it was the mini games. These games were super fun and just super enjoyable. Sometimes I would just play them just because. Also worth mentioning, the soundtrack is amazing. Whoa! Jambalaya! Victory!
Sorry guys, but you're still a little green around the collar.
Main thing to take away from this video is that I want you to realize that games are always worth playing. It doesn't matter if the graphics aren't as great or if the game is older, regardless of when the game was created or if it was an indie company or if it was a AAA game. There are always good things to take from games, and I encourage you to play older games in general, maybe games that you grew up with or certain games that you missed during your childhood, whatever it may be. Just keep on gaming, really. I personally enjoyed myself so much more than I thought I would during this whole journey. I think that if you give it a try, you will also enjoy yourself. Thanks for watching this video. It was really enjoyable to make, and I had a lot of fun doing it. If you want to check out my social media, I'll have them below. I stream on Twitch from Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. Central Time. And remember to stay hydrated.